So
Lovely.
you are experienced bartender, and I assume that you have a lot of signature cocktails made by yourself, of course. How do you come to the conclusion? What can you put inside? Which kind of liquor? Which kind of syrup? Which kind of what's your base? How do you decide at the end which glass? Can you give us a little bit of perspective?
Well, let's start from the fact that now I'm not involved on making drink every day, okay? So like I am doing a little bit less. But said that, I would say first of all is to know very well the flavors. So like if you know well how it tastes like one fruit, or how it tastes like one flower, or how it tastes like any ingredient. So like your palate has to be trained. Like before, I was training a lot my palate. I was experimenting, trying, even things that I think didn't like, or any new thing that I saw. Keep trying, keep training the palate. Palate can be actually trained. It's like as you go to the gym and you train your muscle, you can train your palate is in the exact same way. So I trained a lot my palate, especially back on the day. And now I feel very confident with the flavor, like I have a very clear picture of that flavor in my archive, let's say, in my memory, on my palate. I can feel that flavor very, 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 very clearly. So once said that, I did also a lot of experimentation in the past, so I more or less have some guideline of what works with what and so on. And yeah, like basically I use all my experience, put it together, and find best things. So like very often I get the pairing of flavors spot on very quick. Sometimes I have one idea and it's completely like when I put it together is nothing in common with what I was expecting. But another thing that I do is also to try to get inspired on the daily. Like when you go to the coffee shop, when you go to the restaurant, when you go to the market, I try always to get inspired. Like to not just to eat, but to eat, tasting what I'm eating, or smelling the fruit that I see, or in the nature if I see herbs. Always to have to keep the sense of taste and sense of smell very, very linked and very active, like to do not make them fall asleep. Because this is not, it can sound obvious, but most of the people do not really pay attention about flavors. Like most of the people, when they, not professional, people in general, when they eat, when they drink, they just do it for needs. Like they don't do it for the experience. And so like the brain is not focused on picking information about what you're tasting and so on. And if you are not picking, you cannot store that information. So I tried always to pick new information and store it. And then let's say after many, many years and I've worked in many different bars, more or less, the rules of the game. So what I learned is that experience, you cannot speed up. You can speed up the knowledge. You can speed up the skills because you can study a lot and you can speed up. You can speed up the skills. You can practice a lot and you can speed it up, but you cannot speed up the experience. So like the experience is something that you have to wait the time for it, and there is nothing that you can do. You can just select well which experience to have, but the time then is gonna do the job. So it's gonna give you all the weapon that you need to do that. But yeah, let's say this is, I use all my experience, I use all my thing, and when I have some doubts, I do not let the doubts there. So I'm gonna go for it and see, like if I have a curiosity or a weird idea, I'm gonna taste it. I'm gonna see how it reacts. If it's good, I discover something new. If not, I still discovered something new and I'm gonna put in my archive, and next time I have one more information for the next drink, for the next cocktail, for the next menu, for the next event, for the next whatever is the occasion, basically.
We will see it tonight.